Hello, my co-hosts. Hope you're all doing well. I'm your host, Tyrannon Senpai, and welcome to another Prehistoric Kingdom speed build. Update 10 is out, and with it, we got a whole bunch of new creatures, fences, and decorations. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned that Protoceratops would be the next dinosaur that we put in the park. However, with Update 10 now out, and because we had a lack of mammals in the park, and also I just wanted another carnivore, I decided that I was actually going to make a pen for one of the new animals, the Eurasian cave lion. I'm really struggling because there's actually two species of cave lion in the game. There's one in Europe and Asia, and then there's the other one from North America. So I decided that, I might as well put down at least one of them, and then we'll save another one of the cave lion exhibits when we actually do a Stone Age theme sort of section of the park. So as you can see, I'm already using the new fences from the Stone Age, which looks absolutely incredible. I love all the wooden fences here that the devs have made for us. And I've also put some glass for guests to be able to view, and now I'm just putting down some boreal grass. Now, I really wish there was more grass options in Prehistoric Kingdom other than what we have set in the game. Because, I would love to have just yellow grass on the ground, instead of using, other grasses from different biomes or different materials. I did put down 4 cave lions originally. Obviously, that changed. And I did a little bit of research as I was making this pen, in that it turns out a typical lion pride has about 15 individuals, including several females and 4 males, which is, that's a lot of cats. I also tried to, take advantage of some of the new decorations by making them a shelter from the Stone Age themed shells that the devs have provided with us. But ultimately, I scrapped this because it just doesn't look right. It's not what I'm looking for. So I decide that instead, I'm going to actually build a cave. I mean, it is kind of there in the name, Cave Lion. So I figured, why not? And also, with all the new cave decorations, I figured, it would be the perfect time to, see how good they look. So, as you can see, I'm now building up the walls of the cave, making sure, everything's slanted and all that jazz. Thinning down some cliffs, so they're not so big. The thing is, though, is that I think I made the cave a little bit too big, to be perfectly honest. And you'll see later, I go back and resize the whole thing just because I thought the whole thing was just so big. These are big cats, but they're not colossal. So now you see me, kind of making the archway for the entrance. And, just making it look natural. I mean, this is a zoo. Nothing here is natural. But I try to make it as natural as I can. Shrinking and stretching and all that. I also try to make some clear pathways into the cave. I don't really try to add a bunch of detailed caverns, but there are a couple of chambers in this enclosure that will become quite apparent as the build continues on. My original idea was just to have one entrance and then just a giant place for them to sleep in. But obviously I decided, that's so basic. Anyone can make a cave like that. I wanted to try to make a sort of a cave with multiple caverns. Ultimately, it didn't turn out as I thought it would, but I've never really made caves with caverns inside them. So this was kind of a test run. You can see that I'm already trying to make an entranceway to one of the new tunnels. This will be a private rest zone. None of the guests will be able to see in this cave, by the way. Only the animals will be able to interact with it. I put down some hay, but you'll see me take this off later when I shrink it. I twist things around, to accommodate for the space, and I put down some more walls. I really wish we had more rock-based rocks, or designated rocks that could be used for making a cave, basically. Because there are so many Stone Age animals here that would have been found in caves, or attractions where you want like guests to go through a cave and see cave paintings. I also play around with the stalactites and stalagmites. I don't know the difference. If anyone knows the difference, please let me know in the comments. I did not pay all that much attention to Earth science in class, and I'll play around with them more as the video goes, especially when we get to the viewing galleries. I'm now plugging up the roof so no light gets in there, because it's a cave. There's really not supposed to be any light going through. And it's a nice, cool area for the lions to escape to whenever, they want to get out of the sun and things like that. I plug up any holes that I find with smaller rocks, and I put down some hay in a small little cavern there. Also getting lost in the process because there are just so many rocks. And now I'm shrinking it down so, it's less daunting for the cats. And I put down some more hay. And then going back in and painting rock terrain in the cave. Now I'm adding some last details, such as, additional rocks and boulders for the entranceways. And then I start putting down some stalagmite and stalactites. And now I decorate the outside a little bit so it doesn't just look like a big wall. I litter the outside of the cave with some small rocks, just to give it a little bit more life, I guess, which is a weird thing to say about a cave. Put down some rocks for hopefully the lions to climb on. I've never seen them do it. I know they can get up there. I've tested it. But I've never seen them do it. Here I am just putting more rock clusters down. And I'm copying and pasting this over to the other side. now satisfied with the cave, I put down some feeders, for them to obviously eat from. But I'm not done with the cave just yet. I do add a couple of nice details inside that, we'll see later. I did consider putting down the water bowl, but I remembered that a lot of big cats have enclosures where there's like a pool for them to cool off in. So I decided, give them a pool, a place to swim. It's kind of common to see, enclosures with big cats having pools. So I decided to put one down. And then I put a pumpkin feeder in the cave, a little bit of a toy and some food for them inside the cave. I also put down a box because I heard that big cats love playing with boxes. A lot like house cats. But I completely forgot to record the last bit of where I actually put them in the cave. So there's that. I'm honestly hoping we get enrichment items in the game eventually. That would be really cool. Toy balls and things like that. I then put down some, some grass and things like that, just to see how it works. Obviously, I was trying to go for a whole open prairie sort of theme, but the lions didn't really care for that all that much, so I put down some trees. I honestly was really hoping to make just a grassland plain sort of habitat, but they just wanted forests. It's kind of a bummer. But you know what? I won't complain too much, because it did turn out looking nice in the end. Obviously, it doesn't look like this anymore now, because I shifted trees around. But it's alright. And then I put down a little bit of sand, to make it actually look a bit like a grassland. And then put down some flowers, add a splash of color into the exhibit. I play around with the foliage brush quite a bit to see what I like. And unfortunately, now the lion pen is actually crowded with vegetation, so I go back and get rid of a lot of the mess that I created here. And then I just delete all the grass I put down. Because I kind of got the idea of putting some of the vegetation around the edges of the grass and the sand and all that. Make it stand out a bit more, like a path where the lines would go around. I put down some flowers to add some color. And I, check their welfare, make sure it's not too crowded. I break up the sand with some of the grass paintbrush. Just overall make it look trim and nice. I will get better at making terrain, I swear. And I kind of tried to make the enclosure not so flat by adding some hills and things like that. I'm hoping one of these days I'll be confident enough to actually make a pen on a hill rather than have a completely flat map. Now, I'm prepping up the viewing galleries for the enclosure by putting down some rocks. Make it look very spiffy indeed. I stretch them to make them taller or shorter as I want. And I twist them around, so they're alternating in direction and size. I really like how this viewing gallery turned out. I might use it again when I build more of the Stone Age themed habitats. I then found the basalt, and I really love this. I love these rocks so much. And it really does make this enclosure really come to life. Like, it really does now feel like stony, I guess, for the lack of a better term. Obviously, it's not done yet because I really wanted something to go over the top. So, I got some hanging rock spikes, I'm just going to call them, until someone tells me what they are. This is what they refer. This is their official term now. And I put them along the top of the fence. And now it feels truly prehistoric. Like, honestly, that looks amazing. Naturally, I copy and paste it along each of the fence's sides. And once I'm satisfied with, how it turned out, I copy and paste it and put it on the other side. Unfortunately, it's not the correct length, so I have to tweak it just a little bit so it works. Making sure that the rocks fit perfectly within the gaps between the glass panels, and adding the last ones I needed to complete the pen. Now, doesn't that look beautiful? I think I did a pretty good job with the viewing gallery. Now I'm just placing down some rocks right next to the fence between it and the water. So there's a barrier. I kind of wish that I could make like a proper concrete pool in the game. But unfortunately, that's just not a feature in Prehistoric Kingdom. Devs, if you're watching this video, please, I would love to have a concrete pool, like a proper one. I know that there are probably some very talented people out there that have already made one with the tools that are given, but I would love to have like an actual modular piece that's like a pool. One that actually like auto fills in the land. It's like it digs a hole and all the jets. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure you could also do that with like Planet Zoo. I mean, because you can get underwater enclosures. And that is a feature I also want to come to the game eventually. I know you can cheat the game and kind of do it already, but that's a bug. And it's probably going to get fixed. And when it does, that enclosure is not going to be an underwater viewing gallery anymore. So yeah, I would love that to be a potential feature. I finally wrap it up by adding some information boards on the cave line that we have here. And, some donation boxes so people can pay a little bit extra, to donate for our worthy cause. And that's pretty much it. Now let's actually, let's take a look at the pen and see how we did. And here we are, folks, the Eurasian Cave Lion exhibit. This is actually my second time recording this because the previous one had a constant buzzing coming from my microphone, which hopefully has been fixed now. If not, obviously you'll hear the difference. I hate my life. Anyway, this is obviously, our cave lion exhibit that I obviously described. And it has a little bit of changes, which started to become a habit of mine. I really need to record all the changes I make to these habitats. Because these are quite significant when you actually take a look at this versus what we saw before. So, why don't we go ahead and start with the tour? So, guests would, come from the Stegosaurus. They'll be viewing these little guys over here. Ah! I'm through a wall! Ah! Yeah, Hooey! Just landed right into her. But yes, guests would come walking down, and, they'd explore the park, and they'd see these viewing gallery and this beautiful looking information board of, the cave lion here. And they'd be able to see the lions over here, in case they want to eat over here. It's to be seen. Although the information board is kind of in the way a little bit. And of course there's a donation box in case guests wanna, donate. Then guests can come around over here, and they can view the cave lions from this side. And these are the only two viewing galleries you can see the lions through. Everything else is totally concealed by this fence. I mean, you could look through this fence, but I wouldn't recommend it. Otherwise, you might be looking at a bitten off face or something like that. Oh, there's actually one right here. Check it out. Can you see him through the fence? I know y'all saw that. Yeah, there it is. There she is. And that's pretty much the exterior of the cave lion enclosure. But now, let's jump into the lion den, shall we? So, there are some obvious changes. I have moved these trees around, give the environment a bit more than just flat land, less boring that way. We do have feeders here, which I think this lioness is coming over to feed off of. Yep, look at that. So I did put a wooden floor underneath, just to make it come alive a little bit more. And I think I might do more of these kinds of builds in the future, because there are some really cool-looking feeders I saw over on YouTube that I want to try to replicate. Yeah, look at that. She's just nomming away at that. You do you. And of course, along the water, we have this rock wall, which in theory is supposed to keep the lions away from the fence, but obviously it doesn't do anything. They can just walk around it. We have another lion here getting a drink. I love what I did with the brush tool, putting all the plants between the cracks in the rock. Also over here, we have a new garden sort of feature that I put down, using one of the new modular pieces. This is the small wall that they have now, and it looks great. I didn't have to spend hours and hours and hours making this. I just had to get a couple of these pieces together, manipulate them to fit the edge of the water, and bam, there you go. Anytime there's an easy way out, I will take it. Put down, some more vegetation here, move these trees here. Another feeding platform here where one of our males is currently feeding. Now look at this guy. Look at him. Isn't he glorious? I also got some pretty little flowers here. Some flowers here, some flowers here, and flowers over there! Flowers everywhere! We also have a blood pumpkin, that's just sitting out here in case they want to eat from that. I've never seen them eat from this one, though. And there is another one inside the cave, but we'll get to that cave in a moment. Right now I wanted to just show you the outside. You can actually see a couple of our lions in there, actually. But yeah, we got this forested area for, where guests won't be able to see the lions, mostly. And they can just hide around here. Although it would be kind of scary for a park worker to come here and they just don't see a lion just coming through. That'd be kind of terrifying. You gotta be careful around these animals. But they rarely come back here. That encounter that we saw before was actually the first time I actually saw them come this far back into the pen. Normally they sit around out here. Listen to those sounds, though. Listen to those. Like the chuffing and the growling. I swear, the dev teams must have recorded, modern lion calls. They must have. Because these actually sound like real lions that are alive today. And then I put down some rocks on the ground, as well as some terrain texturing, to make this pop a little bit more. Make it come to life. And I honestly love how just the smallest little details like that can really bring this map to life. Absolutely love it to bits. And that's pretty much the outside. But now let's check the inside of the cave. So we got some hanging stalagmites and stalactites. Again, leave in the comments if you know the difference, please. We have a giant blood pumpkin here with one of our lionesses. Look at her go. Yeah, look at that. Isn't it glorious? Just full of blood. And of course we have a little chamber over here they can come into if they want to sleep. There's actually one here right now, actually. This is another one of our males, I think. And look at him. Such a proud creature. And then we got another lion actually sleeping here. Oh, never mind. She's not anymore. And I put down some cardboard boxes for them to play around in. Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, look at that. Although this one is phasing through the floor a little bit, but that's okay. We can just say that instead of the ripped up bottom. Yeah, look at that. Now, obviously, there's no, toy enrichments or any animations for toy enrichments. I hope that's a thing that eventually comes at some point. Because I would love to see, these lions actually play with something like a cardboard box like this, like a real cat does. I've seen videos of lions actually playing with boxes like this in captivity, and it's adorable. Something you wouldn't really expect to hear about a giant cat with the ability to rip a man's head off. Yeah, I absolutely love, from the perspective we're in now, this enclosure doesn't look that bad. From the air, it's not the prettiest, but when you're on the ground, oh my god, it changes so dramatically. I really love the chuffing. I love the chuffing of these lions to bits. Absolutely adore it. These actually do feel like real lions. To the point where I wonder, if this was a real park, guests would complain that these are actual African lions and not extinct ones. And the keepers would have to be like, no, these are Eurasian cave lions. They were around during the Stone Age, but not anymore. But yeah, that is our Eurasian cave lion habitats. Obviously, we're going to be building an enclosure for the American cave lion later down the road, but that will be when we make sort of a Stone Edge. Stone Edge? Brit, is this in Pokemon? A Stone Age theme of the park. So that's going to have the mammoths, the Coelodontas, Elasmotherium, Smilodon, that sort of thing. So all those are going to be together. So obviously I'm going to include the cave lion in that. I might wait a little bit longer until we have some more Ice Age mammals or things like that. Because there are, the ground sloth is a thing that is coming eventually. So I might hold off on that just for that reason. And also, bears, that's the thing that's coming. But also, in the next video, we will be building a Protoceratops oasis right here. It is a pretty sizable habitat, but I'm hoping I can fill out the space. The thing is, though, is that Protoceratops don't like that much forest, so I gotta really think about how I'm going to pull this exhibit off without pissing them off, and all that jazz. I have built a rough idea of what I want to do, but I have to scrap it because I want to actually build a sort of shelter here, which would also be a backstage sort of part of the park, where only park employees are allowed, where they can treat the animals if they're sick, if they're pregnant, things like that, or, where they prepare their food, all that jazz, that sort of thing. Will I fall through with it? I don't know. We'll find out. there's a lot of inspiration I need to look into before I, settle down on one design in particular. But yes, in the next episode, we will be building the Protoceratops enclosure. And then after that, it will be the Solidosaurus. After that, I'm not sure. Because this part of the park is just to give a general idea of what exactly to expect. But also, I was thinking in a future episode, I want to change up the aviary. Because I've actually seen some really cool designs with the aviary. And now that we have a path that's actually leaf litter, the game has changed. I could make this like a walk-in aviary. That would be amazing. And also, it wouldn't just be like a giant, like a cage that's just housing small things like this. It could actually be like a proper enclosure. That'd be really cool. It wouldn't be open air like it is now, but I think it would be really interesting to check it out. But anyway, that is where we're gonna wrap up today's speed build of Prehistoric Kingdom. I normally wrap this up with like some cinematography shots, but honestly, I just get so bored with editing those, so I don't think I'm gonna waste much more time with that. So I think this is the end of the cinematography in Prehistoric Kingdom, at least until it gets a little better and until the animals actually have more interactions around them. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All my links are in the link tree in the description down below. And until next time, this is Tyrannosaurus signing off. Alrighty then, take care now. Bye-bye then.